Another day, another sub. The tandoori tofu, way too much of dairy products in this. There is the aforementioned tandoori, as in there were tandoori slices, mozzarella cheese, a slice of cheddar cheese, and then there's the parmesan oregano bread, which has cheese in it as well. Let's see how this cheese overload tastes like. I also opted for the newly introduced cheese pull, which at a very minor additional cost is added to the sub. I don't know if it gives you that cheesy pull like they do show in the ads, but let's see. I opted for the milder sauces for this sub. I just chose mayo and honey mustard, and then there's the third sauce. Which one was it? Nah, I can't seem to remember. BBQ sauce, I believe. The jalapenos seem to have way more punch in them than any other sauce that goes into a sub. This here is a tandoori tofu on which the sub is named after. So, just a cube of tofu marinated with a slight dose of spices, which I can barely sense. The BBQ sauce seems to be a very nice addition to this sub. Gives off a very mellow, tangy taste to the otherwise very creamy sub that we are having right now. With all the tofu and the cheese and the parmesan oregano bread that has gone into making this sub, one cannot expect a very crunchy bite to this. It's absolutely soft, not chewy. It has a very soft bun-like texture to it. I am perhaps going wrong with my selection of the sauces. Something spicy would have gone well with this very creamy dairy feel which I'm getting from this sub. Something spicy like maybe a mint mayo or red chili. One of those two, not both. With all the dairy products that have gone into this sub, I surely would have met all my calorific requirements for the day with regards to, well, at least protein and fat. There's the parmesan oregano bread, there's cheddar cheese, there's mozzarella cheese, and also an additional dollop of the creamy cheese pull which they advertise. And there's also the tandoori tofu which has gone into the sub. The otherwise bland looking and tasting tofu has been given a slight elevation with the addition of spices that have been marinated along with it. This would have perhaps gone really well with a mint mayo dip, or chutney as we locally call it. And now for the second sub of the day, which is the Mexican patty. The bread which we have used is the honey oat with multigrain. There's no additional cheese that has gone into this. I could straight away feel the very creamy texture of the tandoori mayo. What exactly does the Mexican patty have in it? There are lentils, there are spices, black pepper, potatoes, a very minute amount of curry leaves have gone into this, and then there's, what is this, kidney beans, I believe. and a decent amount of seasoning that has gone into it. Their breads hardly seem to have a crust on them. It's mostly the crumbly part that one can taste. The crust, whatever little there is very soft, and it's not chewy, but it's just soft and has a quite smooth texture to it. A crunchier crust would have done wonders. A bread without a crunchy crust just doesn't feel like, it doesn't give off a complete experience. A very crunchy crust with a golden brown hue to it, and then the very soft, gentle colored hues of the crumb with a lot of airy pockets in it. I wish there was a bread like that which I could taste. Not too many options here, I'm afraid. Just let's get back to this serve. All the sauces seem to have gone to the other side of the sub, and here there's little to none of it. There's just the bread and the patty, and of course the lettuce. Which gives off its own slightly spicy and seasoning which has gone into it kind of taste. For those with a low tolerance to spicy foods, it's best that you add the tandoori sauce in moderation. For a slice of bread which is supposed to have oats in them, I expected more detail from it. Looks pretty plain, both on the inside and on the outside. It does have the slightest notes of honey though. And on to the final item for today, the chocolate chip cookie. I'll see you in a bit. The chocolate chip cookie. I finally get to taste it after 2 days of having had those quite healthy double Dunkin' chocolate chip cookies. Has a quite chewy texture to it. Not crunchy, I'm afraid. There's definitely a lot of sugar added to this in comparison with the double Dunkin' chocolate. Too sugary, I'm afraid, for my taste. As an indulgence, this one's good, but otherwise I would choose the double dark Dunkin' chocolate any day. And that's it for today. I'll see you again tomorrow. Until then, take care. Bye.